Norway with the stunner, upsetting Canada. They'd lost 23 of the 24 matchups against Canada in their World Championship history. The only other win coming back in the year 2000 as Norway. What a moment. We said this was their Super Bowl. Norway not going to make the quarterfinals, not going to get relegated. Nice and even, Steven, in the middle there. And now coming up with a huge win against Canada, a moment that those players will not forget anytime soon. Dave and Laura back here with you once again. So 11 seconds to go in regulation, and it was Lawson Crouse getting the goal there and getting this game into extra time where it didn't really feel like we would get there at many points.
No, not at all. This was not a good game for Canada at all. By any means, but they were able to get a point out of it, and it comes off of a low face-off with a face-off loss. They struggle on the face-offs in this game terribly. They lose the face-off. Michael Carcone does a nice job of getting on the puck, and there was a complaint should have been a trip, and it easily could have been a trip, not called, but he smartly gets the puck to the front of the net quickly, knowing he's only got a few seconds remaining. And Lawson Crouse with a little cross-body, far side, high up over the under the bar over the glove. Great goal to get the game to overtime, but it took Canada a long time before they could muster up some offense. They really did struggle in this game, generating offense, getting through the neutral zone, and give credit to Norway. Mm-hmm. They played very well defensively throughout this game, and Canada couldn't figure it out most of the game. Here comes overtime. Here comes the shootout, and you're thinking, okay, advantage Canada. Scoring with 11 seconds left. They've got all this momentum. It's all going their way. But again, it was Norway dictating play in overtime, and then the shootout comes around, and maybe we should start calling Norway the shootout specialist here because Joel Hofer did not have an answer. Oh, he didn't. He was biting pretty hard in a few of the dekes that went along. Give Norway credit. Out of the 5 shooters, they get 4 goals. I think it was Kazakhstan went 4 for 4 in the last shootout that we saw. And you can see Hofer biting on the first one. And Isaac Hansen, a defenseman, doesn't shoot a lot. He's 19 years old. The guys were saying he doesn't shoot very much. Norway was not missing. Olden goes upstairs after the deke, and then another one to fake the shot after. First guy dekes, second guy shoots. So let's try a little fake of both. And Treddens puts it in, and Hofer just could not get a read on which way Norway was going. Were they going left or right? And finally, it's Thomas Olsen and finishes it off. But I mean, the shootout kind of went the way the game went for Canada. They just couldn't get a read on which way Norway was going, whether they had the puck or didn't have the puck. But, you know, give credit to Norway in the shootout. Absolutely. When you get 4 or 5 in a shootout, good for you. Canada just wasn't able to do that. They got a few, but they weren't able to get enough. And this is a well-deserved victory by Norway. Sondre Olden, big game for him. He scored in regulation, he scored in the shootout, and his reward, not only a win for Norway, but an interview with Tessa.
Second time ever Norway defeats Canada. The last time was in 2000. Do you remember anything from that game? Did that help inspire you here today?
It's been a long time, so it was about time. I remember it a little bit from when I was younger, but we had a coach from before who always talked about it, so it's nice to finally beat Canada.
Big game for yourself. You scored in regulation as well as in the shootout. Going into that shootout shot, did you know what you were going to do?
Yeah, you know, you always think a little bit before, but I was just trying to see at the goalie, and you know, it's, you know, you just decide when you're on the ice what you're going to do, and you know, luckily it went in.
Will this moment be talked about with the team for a very long time?
Yeah, I mean, it's big for us to beat Canada. Yeah, of course, I'm going to talk about it for a long time. So yeah, it's a huge win.
So Canada leaving a couple points on the table there as we take a look at the Group B standings, but all is not lost. So Canada has to rebound, has to get going because they're right back at it tomorrow against the Czechs, and that's important to note because the winner of that game will finish second in the group. They weren't going to finish first because of their loss to Switzerland a couple of days ago, so that's how it all goes. Again, the top 4 teams will move on to the quarterfinals. Well, he scored one of Canada's goals, the big one that forced overtime. Here's Lawson Crouse now with Tessa.
Lawson, what will be the takeaway in this one?
Just got to be better. You know, all of these teams are playing so well defensively. We need to find a way to get internal scoring chances and go from there.
There's a win to take away from this is the fact that you guys gained a point. You still have another game to prepare for the knockout rounds.
Yeah, you know, obviously it's a quick turnaround. It's a short tournament. Obviously learn on what we did wrong tonight and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big one.
Thank you.